New Buddha Way Dhamma Talks. Geoff Hunt presents a talk on some aspect of the Buddha's teaching.
Here is a reading from the Dhammapada. The Dhammapada is a collection of sayings of the Buddha in verse, and it is one of the most popular of Buddhist texts. It probably goes back to about, let's say, 250 years BC. It is now to be found in the Sutta Pitaka of the Theravada tradition. Better than 1,000 meaningless words is one word of sense, which brings the hearer peace. Better than 1,000 senseless verses is just one, which brings the hearer peace. Better than 1,000 useless verses is one word of the Dhamma, which brings the hearer peace. Though a person conquer 1,000 times 1,000 others in battle, they who conquer themselves are, in fact, the greatest warriors. The conquest of oneself is better than the conquest of all others. Though a person sacrifice 1,000 pieces of money every month for 100 years, one moment of reverence for the possessor of true knowledge is of more help. Though a person should offer sacrifices for 100 years, one moment of homage for a real teacher is of more help. Whatever offering a person may make to gain merit is not worth a small part of reverence for the just person. If a person has respect and courtesy for the aged, then they will have many benefits in return. Better than 100 years of uncontrolled existence is just one day of thoughtful and meditative life. Better one day of wise and thoughtful life than 100 years of folly and thoughtlessness. Better one day of energy and determination than 100 years of idleness. Better to understand for a single day the fleeting nature of things than to live for 100 years without just such understanding. Better a day with a vision of true peace than 100 years of blindness to the truth. Better one day with knowledge of the Dhamma than 100 years of ignorance. All that we are is the result of what is in our mind. It is founded on our mind, and it is made up of our mind. If a person speaks or acts with a harmful thought, suffering will follow that person, just as the wheel follows the hoof of the beast that draws the wagon. All that we are is the result of what is in our mind. It is founded on our mind and made up of our mind. If a person speaks or acts with a good mind, happiness will follow like a shadow. He reviled me, he struck me, he defeated me, he robbed me. In those who harbour such thoughts, hatred will never cease. He reviled me, he struck me, abused me, defeated me. Those who harbour no such thoughts are free from hatred. Hatred does not cease by hatred. Hatred ceases only by love. This is the eternal law. Many do not realize that all must one day die. In those who know this fact, truly know, all strife is stilled.
New Buddha Way lets go of East and West and starts afresh in the life we have now. For more information, visit www.newbuddhaway.org.